The next guy we're going to talk about is a guy who really made a name for himself during the Senior Bowl, opened up a lot of eyes. Grey Zabel, North Dakota State, and he can play pretty much anywhere on the line. 6'5", 316 pounds.
The term I use here, you're going to see him here. So a lot of good clips here. So once again, he's going to step down. If you see him pounding his feet, getting to the linebacker, getting to the defensive lineman, you're going to see here great job on the twist, keeping his balance. You're going to see him here setting the edge. You're going to see him get his hips around, which is really hard to do. So you're going to see him step with the right foot, come down. That lineman steps in his way, and that's called a railroad, where you're just going to block anything in your path on a down block. And that's one of the key plays that the Browns block when you talk about a down block. Now, this is a guy I love. He was 240 coming out of high school. A three-sport kid. I love kids who don't specialize because it teaches them competitiveness. In this day of specialization, I love guys who play multiple sports. I think it's important they learn competitive things in different sports, different spatial awareness. His body control and spatial awareness are outstanding. He went to the Senior Bowl, played all the positions. This is a guy who's invaluable. This will be a late first-round pick, early second-day pick. You get a guy like this in the second round, you're really, really happy because in the NFL with a 53-man roster, this guy can play guard, center, and tackle. Super athletic. Like I said, he plays with a little bit of nastiness. This North Dakota State program has produced a lot of really good pros. They take kids who are really athletic and then get them in the weight room, get them fed, and they turn into really good football players and potential pros. This guy is a really good player. Again, you said it bad. In the Senior Bowl, he was absolutely dominant. If you watch all his reps, he goes against the best of the best and handles himself very, very well.
Are you concerned at all about North Dakota State? That's a FCS, so the old 1AA. It's not the Alabamas and the the SECs. But you do mention that Carson Wentz went there. There's a lot of NFL guys that have played at that program, in that program.
Well, there's two things, right? Is who are they going against? Obviously, it's not the level of competition, but when you break down the film, the thing that I'm looking for is their movement skills at their size, their spatial awareness, their ability to get off the football. Do they understand the fronts they're seeing? The difference between an FCS school and Division One or 1AA, I'll call it. I'll show my age, but the difference between them is usually the depth. Those first level guys at all college programs are usually pretty good. Everybody says, go watch a Mount Union game or a John Carroll game. There's a lot of really good football players. So what it really comes to is these guys go to these smaller schools because they're not into their frames yet, right? So he was 240 when he got to North Dakota State. Now he's pushing 320 because of the weight room and just natural growth. So no, I don't worry about it as much, especially inside, because that's a position where you have to grow. And the best players are grown men inside, right? Those guys who are third and fourth and fifth year seniors who are 23, 22, 23 years old, who are now grown men. So not from the smaller schools, not when it comes to linemen, especially as interior guys. And that's what the combine for is the Senior Bowl. So you go see how you're going to do against those guys. And I think it's important. And he's really shown up in those situations.